This morning we begin a new series called Wired. And did you know that God is a God who is a social God? And I don't know if anybody has ever thought about that. Have you ever considered that there's a reason why you and I don't exist in little pockets of isolation? Right? So God could have created us. If someone came from outer space and looked at our planet, God could have created us so that we would have been isolationists, right? So that all of us just did our own thing and we never interacted, we never talked, we never worked in groups, we never had any kind of communication with each other. We just lived quietly in isolation. If somebody came to our planet, they would look and say, man, those people are complete isolationists. God could have created us that way. But the fact is God exists as a social God. And so He exists in Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, one essence and three persons living in community. And if you look at the way that God created everything, He created scores of animals, scores of planets and stars and everything else in creation. And He gets to Genesis 1:26, and what does He do? He creates one by one humans in His image. And when He creates us in His image, we then become social, relational beings because He exists as a social God, because He is in community, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. And so this morning, that's basically where we start with this series, is we are wired for connection. We are wired for relationships. And isn't it interesting that the very thing that we're wired for, that we cannot do without, relationships and connections and close, intimate, trusting relationships to connect us to other people, it's the one thing we can't live without because we're wired for it. Just like we need food, just like we need shelter, just like we need water to exist, we need relationships to exist. But isn't it interesting that that thing that we need is often the thing that we have the most trouble with? That we have conflict with family, we have challenges with friends, we have spousal things that we're working through and learning about each other and parent relationships and stuff. And so this series is intended to help us with those most intimate, closest, most deepest, most rewarding relationships. Okay, and so that's what we're going to look at over the next few weeks. Well,